interesting article in Forbes kind of building off that study that came out a couple weeks ago that half of Americans want obesity medications. As you may recall, I mentioned at the time, I think the other half are the half that don't need to lose weight. So a little bit deeper dive into the info, and thanks to Sue the Dude, my moderator over on YouTube, for bringing this article to my attention. So this study that was done by an organization called KFF showed that 45% was the number of people in America who are interested in an obesity medication. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Of that 45%, would you believe that 23% became less interested in this medication knowing that it was going to be a self-administered shot? And that another 16% said, we're not interested if insurance doesn't cover it. In addition to this info, which I find interesting, fascinating, if not questionable, is that they did some studies looking into how much the average insured person costs, and there was certain demographics. You can get into that into the article. I think the mean age was about 47, and 81% of the people looked at were women. But check this out. Apparently, the average cost of this patient for an insurer is $12,371. Guess how much that goes up when they're on a GLP-1? It goes up to $19,657 to cover a patient on a GLP-1. That's a huge increase. So now you start to see why you're getting pushback from the insurance industry, why we see all of these prior authorizations, because all of a sudden they're having to cover a lot more money, which makes sense. But that's what insurance is for, right? Insurance is there to cover our medical conditions, especially our chronic medical conditions like obesity, type 2 diabetes, etc. Now, here's where I think the whole system has it wrong, and I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on how we fix this. But just take one country, for example, the United Kingdom, also a very affluent country, right? In this article, it points out that in the United States, we pay an average of 7 times the amount of money as Americans for these medications as our counterparts do over in the United Kingdom. 7 times. Let that sink in. If we're going to increase accessibility to these medications, these are the conversations that we need to have. And I'm interested in hearing more from you, the viewers of this content, the consumers of this information and these types of articles, and those of you who are on the pen, right? I'm interested in hearing from you what you think the answers are to some of these questions, nagging questions that have to be addressed. We cannot continue to foot the bill for the development of every single medication that happens to change people's lives, right? So what are the answers? Let me hear it in the comments. A lot of you are a lot smarter than I am, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Before you go, will you hit that like, hit that bell, hit that sub? Let me know that this information is helpful for you and that you want to keep seeing this content, and we'll catch you on the next video.